we head to Moscow, where we meet the city's chief architect. He has ambitious plans for the future, a master plan for a brand new metropolis.
With 16 million residents, Moscow is Europe's most populous city. It's one of the most expensive in the world. Much of its old substance is vanishing, making way for nouveau riche grandiosity. Public space is shrinking. Sergei Kuznetsov has been the city's head architect for 2 years. He wants to set a new course for a Moscow with a more human face. His plan? To absorb more ideas from the rest of the world.
It's like huge experiment how we can renovate and blow up the situation here with a very, it was stagnated and was very archaic several years ago in terms of project management, in terms of design, and now we became more and more modern.
The heart of the new plan is Zaryadye, an area directly adjacent to the Kremlin. Architects from New York will build a modern landscape park. It will include a philharmonic concert space, embedded in typical Russian natural surroundings. The American architects won an international competition. Nothing like that has happened in Russia for a long time.
I don't take it as a revolution. Maybe we have some stereotype that Russians are a very closed nation and we try to use only our own knowledge, but it's absolutely wrong. It was absolutely traditional story, absorbing all experience and ideas from Europe. Of course, in Europe on those time, but now it's wider. Yes, we can take something from China, from Far East, from US, and I see this for Russians. It's absolutely normal.
Sergei Kuznetsov wants to change things all over the city. He plans to turn this disused car factory into a cultural and creative center. In a residential area far away from the city center, a museum for contemporary art is planned. Not everyone is enthusiastic about the new plans. One opponent is the architect Rustam Rakhmatulin. We meet him in Lushniki Olympia Park, where an old swimming pool is to be replaced by an indoor water park. Rakhmatulin complains that not enough attention is being paid to preserving architectural monuments. Here, all that will remain of the old architecture is a few reliefs and friezes.
In my opinion, the Moscow government has a very provincial mentality. And at the same time, it claims to be European and open, and that it wants to create public spaces with city promenades and the like. This combination of extreme provinciality and the wish to catch up and overtake everyone else, if that tendency continues in the future, then things look very bad for Moscow.
Sergei Kuznetsov remains unperturbed. He knows that monument protection is a neglected field in Moscow. He himself successfully helped prevent the demolition of this landmark, the Shukhov radio tower, which was built on orders from Lenin. It was slated to make way for a shopping center.
Each epoch has some unique signs. And the Shukhov Tower was one of first construction of modernism, and it was very significant, I think, because it was new power, new regime after the Russian Empire.
Moscow's cityscape today. Despite widespread demolition in recent years, the city is still full of testimonies to history. An exhibition in this pavilion shows how the most important construction project for Moscow's future will look. The landscape park beside the Kremlin is being built by an international consortium under American management. That's an unusual arrangement in times of tension between Russia and the West.
We do not feel this influence. We're working, we are doing our job. This is something where our children and grandchildren will become friends, because this is a public space. You know, like 5 years, 10 years will pass and people will forget bad things, but the park will still be there. And people from America, from Italy, from Germany will meet here with Russians and talk. That's why it's a great thing that this is a public space.
The idea for the park came from the very top, from the Kremlin. Sergei Kuznetsov is in charge of implementing it. He also has big plans for the banks of the Moscow River, but first he has to finish the park.
I understand very well that we should realize it and make competitions and design projects. That's not enough. We should do much more. We should build these objects, but nevertheless, I think now we already started.
Moscow is moving away from imperial facades to a more human city. That was Sergei Kuznetsov's goal when he became the city's chief architect 2 years ago. What will Moscow look like in 10 years? We can hardly wait to see.